Nithyanandam everyone, this is Prasiddha. Welcome back to the Kundalini Yogini. Today I'm going to be sharing on the topic of dark night of the soul. Are you going through this? Have you been experiencing something that you might attribute to this? Is what we're going to talk about in today's video. It's really fascinating to me that this week multiple people in my life and people that follow me have been asking me about dark night of the soul and or going through it and describing what they're going through. And I realized that I didn't really have a video completely addressing this and explaining it. And it's so important, so important on the path to understand this concept, and I'll tell you why. If you've had a spiritual awakening, have been on the spiritual path for a while, you already know that the spiritual path, the journey of awakening, is not something that is rainbows and butterflies, and it is anything but comfortable. But it's interesting because the way that spirituality is projected and showcased a lot of times is this idea that everything becomes easier, better, happier, etc. And while this is true in some senses, right? We are shedding a lot of beliefs that no longer serve us. We are living hopefully more aligned lives, more authentic lives, yes. But the journey to get there and the journey to self-realization or enlightenment is a journey of death. It is literally a process where we are continuously facing death by choice. We are going through multiple levels of death of the ego. The ego being our constructed identity of self, the I, the mind that exists inside of our inner world, our inner framework. And that body-mind complex, which is a costume that we wear here, but not truly who we are, in essence, as pure consciousness, as a particle and part of God, as a soul, right? As a divine being that is untouched by these things. When we identify, as we're programmed and told and shown to do our entire lives, as the mind-body complex, we experience immense suffering, right? We experience immense suffering in so many different dimensions. So as we're peeling back these layers and shedding these false identifications, we go through very intense, very difficult, and at times very heavy emotional experiences, right? We are going through a literal death process. And so we experience loss of self. We experience grieving. We experience total and utter confusion, inner chaos, feeling absolutely turned upside down, lost, feeling like our whole world has been flipped. Our paradigm is, put on its end. And so this is what has been described by many spiritual seekers and beings on the path as a dark night of the soul. What's most important that I want to share about the reason I want to share about this is because so often people reach out to me thinking something is wrong. They're doing something wrong. Why do they feel so stuck? Why do they feel so lost? Why do they feel so terrible, for lack of a better word? They're in this type of spiritual depression. And, naturally, the self, the being starts to question, what am I doing here? What's going wrong? Why do I feel this way, right? We have that resistance to these emotions and this experience. But what I want to share is that, number one, if you relate to what I'm describing in any way, shape, or form, you are not alone. It is extremely natural for us to go through these awakenings and evolutions of our consciousness, and it is very uncomfortable, terrifying at times, and completely feels like death, like dying. And a lot of times from the outside looking in, for people who know us, who are watching us, who are not on the path themselves maybe, this can be very difficult to understand. We can feel judged. We can feel like completely misunderstood. But I want you to know that seekers at one point or another will go through that experience in some type of manifestation, and it might look different for every single person. And I'm not saying, I don't want to put this, as your reality, that this has to happen, this type of experience has to happen. All I'm sharing is that as a, collective consciousness and from the space of oneness, I have seen this journey and story play out for almost every person that I know on the path. So just know, nothing is wrong with you. You're not doing anything wrong. You are not alone. And most importantly, there's actually nothing for you to fix. What you're experiencing isn't a problem. Feeling stuck, feeling lost, and questioning everything, questioning your reality isn't wrong. It's actually one of the most transformative processes that we can go through as conscious beings. Truly, I really believe that. And I've seen that in my own experience, having what I would call multiple dark nights of the soul throughout the last 7 years. And before that, before my seeking journey really fully started, I'm very familiar with what this state feels like. And it's very uncomfortable. It's not something that I seek out or desire to experience. But what I've learned is that when I'm in it, the best thing that I can do, that you can do, is to first and foremost accept it, completely unclutch, let go of these preconceived notions about what you're supposed to feel like, what you're supposed to be like, how you're supposed to act as a spiritual person, because ultimately all of that is illusion too, and all of that is bullshit. Really, for lack of a better word, it is. It's another spiritual ego, right? It's another false identity. So it doesn't matter what it looks like to other people. It doesn't matter who's judging you. And what's really important is to stop judging yourself as you're going through it. Again, be in this space. Try to embrace the darkness, really. Embrace the darkness inside of you. Dive deeper into the questions of who am I? Why am I experiencing this? What am I really experiencing? Where is this coming from, right? What do I feel like I'm missing or that I need to find? Where do I feel like I'm going and why, right? Asking ourselves these big questions. Life provides a beautiful opportunity in these dark nights of the soul for us to really go deeper into self-inquiry, to really peel back again the layers of false identifications, of illusion, of this Maya that we're living in and that we create for ourselves, and to drop it, to go beyond it, to have a conscious breakthrough. So hold yourself with a lot of love, a lot of compassion, drop the judgment, and melt into the surrender space as much as you can. Allow yourself to be chiseled by the most compassionate sculptor, Paramashiva, Mahadeva, Parabrahman, right? The ultimate consciousness, what some refer to as capital G-O-D. This force, this version of who we truly are as the whole, is here to guide you in the most gentle way possible. And I know that sounds funny sometimes when we're feeling a lot of pain, but truly, however it's being done to us is the most compassionate, gentle way possible for our soul. You can handle it. You're capable. You're so capable. And you are being held by the divine. You're not alone even when it feels like it. You are always being held in the palms, in the heart, in the womb of the Divine Mother as you're in this journey. So just remember that. Connect back in your prayerful space as much as you can to that force, that source, whatever name you connect with. That's what I find is my ultimate salvation in these dark nights of the soul, is trust and acceptance, of course, letting go of the judgment and surrendering. And 2, connection to the divine. Immense admission of defeat, of surrender, of yearning of the soul, really deep prayerfulness, calling out for help, for clarity, for assistance, because the divine always answers us when we truly reach out, when we truly connect. So I hope that this video gave a little bit of clarity, a little bit of solace, and more acceptance to you if you are in this space and experiencing such a thing that we call dark night of the soul. Just know that everything is temporary also. This experience is temporary. You are such a valuable, immensely important being. If you were not needed, you would not exist. Your manifestation of consciousness literally could not exist without you. So we need you. We need you. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on life. Hold on through the chaos and remember that you're being held. You're being held in the cosmic womb with so much love. And I'm here to support in whatever way I can. So many people I know out there are too. If you'd like to connect with our little micro community deeper, you can join my Telegram group in the description down below. You can also always feel free to DM me on Instagram. I do my best to read those whenever I can filter through them and see them. And again, sending you guys so much love on your journeys. Take care, everyone. Stay rooted in Sat Chit Ananda, truth, consciousness, and bliss, your true nature. Nithyanandam, everyone.